has to celebrate beating down DeWanna the scammer Bonner. Cheers, my friend. Cheers, buddy. DeWanna Bonner, I just want to start here. You stink. You stunk it up. You caused all that ruckus. I thought you stopped shooting threes hitting the side of the backboard when you took the Indiana Fever jersey off.
Talked a little bit about being happy for DeWanna Bonner, finding a good spot for her. What was your overall thoughts on having her there in the reception tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about the reception. I don't hear anything once I'm out on the floor, but it's weird seeing her on the other side. But at the end of the day, basketball is basketball and relationships are relationships.
You know what's beautiful about basketball? It's not the highlight reels or the superstars. It's karma, cold, precise, and utterly ruthless. And on July 31st, 2025, karma came for Dana Bonner in Gamebridge Fieldhouse.
Mitchell, she's got the 5 fouls. Austin, Cunningham. Yes! And a foul! Sophie Cunningham! Give her 3, and she'll go for 4. Contis battling, spins, fades, fires, and hits. Bibby, corner 3. Oh, yeah! Cunningham. Yes!
She thought she'd escaped Indianapolis, thought she'd traded a struggling Fever team for Phoenix's contenders. But the universe had a brutal lesson waiting. Quit on your team, and the game will quit on you. This isn't just a revenge story. It's a warning. Stick around. What unfolded will shock you. And hey, if you live for sports justice, smash that like button and subscribe. You won't want to miss how this ends.
I mean, just a hell of a job, y'all. That was a big win. Okay? That was a big win. We stacked the deck.
And it was a great team effort to beat DeWanna Bonner in her return to Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Had to feel great for the fans there to see her vanquished and not playing well, and Alyssa Thomas complaining all over the floor. Bonner booed in her.
Let's rewind. Mid-season 2025, the Fever were fighting, not elite yet, but building around Caitlin Clark's sophomore surge in a revamped roster. Then Bonner vanished. After signing a $200,000 contract, she played just 9 games, average career lows, 7.1 ppg, 34.5% G, and missed 5 games for personal reasons. On June 25th, Indiana waived her when no trade emerged. In her statement, Bonner called it a fit issue but privately trashed the culture, telling Confidant Indiana wasn't good enough. She landed in Phoenix days later, embracing fiancée Alyssa Thomas courtside as the Mercury surged 11-4. Fans felt stabbed in the back. This wasn't business. It was desertion.
Foul on Sophie Cunningham. That is her first, team second. Coming in for Phoenix number 14, DeWanna Bonner.
And Indianapolis doesn't forget. Fast forward to her return. The second Bonner stepped on court. Gamebridge Fieldhouse erupted, not cheers. A deafening tsunami of boos rolled from the upper deck to courtside, shaking the hardwood itself. Every single touch. The venom was palpable, a collective roar of betrayal condensed into every possession. During free throws, fans unified in a thunderous chant, "Quit TR! Quit TR!" drowning out any hope of focus. Caitlin Clark, sidelined with injury, wasn't just watching, she was orchestrating the energy from the bench. Watch her reaction closely. Wide-eyed grins, fist-pumping teammates, leaping to their feet when third-string defender Lexi Hull swatted Bonner into a shot clock violation. This wasn't just anger. It was a city's pride weaponized into pure, cold vengeance.
Bonner battling with Hull. Bonner turns, fades, fires, and leaves it way short. Great defense there by Hull. Copper tracks it down and bounces for Bonner, who had her shot blocked. And it's a shot clock violation. Bonner walled off by Hull. And then blocked at the rim. Indiana has that 5-point lead in third.
And Bonner? She visibly shrank. Air balls clanged off the side of the backboard. Passes sailed wildly into the scorer's table. Simple dribbles became turnovers under non-existent pressure. The weight of 15,000 scornful eyes transformed the all-star into a shell of herself, every missed shot echoing her mid-season exit. Here's the dagger. Arie McDonald, Bonner's actual replacement, wasn't even on Indiana's radar in May. Signed using cap space freed by Bonner's abrupt exit, she embodied everything the Fever needed: grit, gratitude, and killer instinct. That night, she detonated. 27 points on ruthless efficiency, darting through screens, sinking floaters over all defense talent, and going a flawless 10 out of 10 from the stripe. Phoenix had no answer for her acceleration. She sliced their defense like warm butter, collapsing rotations to feed Boston for easy buckets. Post-game, she offered a humble shrug. When I hit those early threes, felt like the rim widened. Just took what they gave me. The irony hung thick in the air. Bonner fled for greener pastures. Yet McDonald, thriving in the soil she abandoned, bloomed into a franchise revelation. Every drive, every dime screamed the unspoken truth. Indiana didn't lose a star. They gained an identity.
As you had it kind of going tonight, and what kind of opened up for you? It felt like you were scoring kind of from basically everywhere.
When I seen those 2 threes go in, then I saw how easy it was, like getting into the paint. I'm like, okay, I'm converting. All right, I'm good. Like, let's keep being aggressive, or just, keep taking what the defense is.
But the drama exploded courtside. Bonner's fiancée, Mercury star Alyssa Thomas, spent the game weaponizing the chaos. Cameras tracked her pacing the sideline, jaw clenched, screaming towards sections of Fever faithful. Y'all mad she escaped this circus? She's on a real team now. Her gestures grew more incendiary as boos intensified, pointing at the scoreboard early when Phoenix led, then mocking fans by cupping her ear after Bonner's rare basket.
DeWanna Bonner, much to the Fever fans, in attendance, much to their credit, they didn't play nice tonight. Good job. They booed the hell out of DeWanna Bonner. And then Alyssa Thomas started jawing at the fans. Well, let me understand something. You want fans booted out of arenas, but it's okay for you to talk.
Rookie Celeste Taylor glared across midcourt. Aaliyah Boston's eyes narrowed. Even injured Caitlin Clark stopped smiling, her expression shifting to icy focus. Thomas didn't notice. She was too busy igniting a fuse that would detonate her own team. With 8:34 left, Phoenix clinging to a 2-point lead, Boston rose from the bench and stripped off her warm-ups.
2 has Arie McDonald, who did not start the season with the Fever, but has really come on strong. Pass inside, it's a bullet. Some more contact there underneath. Hull hits the ground. Austin has a size advantage here. Wants the clear out, gets the clear out, gets inside, and pushes it home.
Thomas smirked, turning to jeer at a fan behind the Mercury bench. In that exact second, Boston stalked on the floor, and the arena's energy turned volcanic. The taunts had birthed a monster. Boston was already dominant. 22 points, 12 boards anchoring both ends. But with 8 minutes left and Phoenix clawing within 2, she didn't just take over. She weaponized karma into an art form.
Teams have now erased double-digit deficits. 9:30 to decide a winner. Howard inside, Boston, deep position. Wow. Dangerous pass there by McDonald, rescued by Howard. Howard trots inside, left hand off the mark. Boston pulls it down and lays it in. McDonald has just had that look in her eyes here tonight, but it's Boston taking over in the fourth. No answer.
First possession, Thomas bodied her in the paint. Boston spun baseline with a vicious drop step, banking it home while drawing Thomas's 4th foul. The free throw, swish. Next trip, face up from the elbow, hesitation dribble freezing Thomas, then a silk jumper over her fingertips. Suddenly it was 5-0. All Boston. Then the masterpiece, sealed deep in the post. She caught, pivoted, and unleashed a dream shake so devastating Thomas stumbled backward as the layup dropped. Gamebridge Fieldhouse became a roaring tsunami. 10 straight personal points in 90 seconds. Thomas, now visibly rattled, fouled her twice more at the stripe. Boston buried all 4 attempts with assassin's calm.
Only 15 three-point attempts and 6 makes for Phoenix from outside the line.
Boston step through, lays it in. You can't stop her.
Powers in the paint.
We're still playing without Kelsey Mitchell. She's got the 5 fouls. Boston, Cunningham. Yes! And a foul! Sophie Cunningham.
When her final free throws ice it with 12 seconds left, the scoreboard screamed 107 to 101. But the real story was Boston's 17-point fourth quarter eruption. Every move screamed a message. This is a culture you called not good enough. The arena shook as she pointed to her jersey post buzzer. No Clark, no stars. Just a team forged in the fire Bonner abandoned. Post game, the divide between the franchises became a canyon. Kalia Akpa's press conference performance was a masterclass in deflection. Leaning into Mike with flushed cheeks, she snapped. Calling a legend like that distasteful? She built this league. Those boos? Pure disrespect. Her tone dripped with performative outrage, as if Fever fans owed gratitude to a player who'd quit on them mid-contract. Not once did she acknowledge Bonner's one of for shooting, the defensive lapses, or the fact Phoenix had just been outplayed by a Clark-less roster. Instead, she framed criticism as sacrilege. DeBeast a sweet soul. The situation just wasn't for her. The implication was clear. Indianapolis failed Bonner, not the reverse. Meanwhile, in the Fever locker room, a different energy hummed. Coach Stephanie White faced reporters with calm authority. When asked about the awkwardness of Bonner's return, she smiled gently. Look, basketball's basketball. We compete hard for 40 minutes. But off the court, relationships outlast jerseys. Her words weren't just diplomatic, they were strategic. By refusing to weaponize the drama, she denied Phoenix a villain narrative. Instead, she pivoted to her team's resilience. 5 players in double figures? That's identity basketball. No one person carries us. The subtext screamed louder than any boo. We're better without her. Then came Aaliyah Boston. Cameras surrounded her locker, probing for reaction. Her response was a glacier wrapped in a smile. Honestly, DB's return got nothing to do with me. Fans do what fans do. Our job? Win games. She didn't smirk, didn't glare, just methodically unlace her sneakers, while noting Indiana's defensive rotations needed tightening. The contrast was seismic. Phoenix's all-star raging at perceived slights. Indiana's franchise player dissecting pick-and-roll coverage after dropping 22 points and 12 boards. One lived in the past. The other was building a future. The fallout crystallized both teams' trajectories. Phoenix unraveled further. Thomas, still fuming from Boston's fourth-quarter dissection, refused interviews. Team sources later grumbled about toxic atmospheres, ignoring that Thomas had poured gasoline on the fire. Their post-game meal? Silent, tense. A team expecting contention. Now Saturday, November 16th. Their chemistry visibly fractured. Indiana's locker room? A symphony of clapping and laughter. Christie Sides high-fived equipment managers. Rookie Celeste Taylor led a raucous sing-along. Boston presented McDonald with the game ball. For making the rim look like the ocean, even injured Kelsey Mitchell FaceTimed in screaming, "Y'all did that without me?" The vibe? A brotherhood forged in adversity. Statistically, the gap widened. Phoenix Mercury, Indiana Fever. Record 16-11, 3rd seed. 15-12, 6th seed. Post-Bonner trend 4-5, since signing her 9-3 since her departure. Clutch scoring last 5 minutes. Ranked 9th in WNBA, ranked 2nd. Bench points 18.7 ppg, 29.3 ppg. The most damning evidence hung in the rafters. Bonner's jersey still hung in the Fever team store. Clearance rack, 50% off. McDonald's number 5 jersey, sold out by halftime. As Bonner boarded the team bus that night, head down. Avoiding eye contact, the lesson crystallized. Karma isn't vengeance. It's accountability. You abandon a team calling you family, the court becomes a truth serum. Your replacement thrives. Your fiancé's taunts fuel your humiliation. And the fans you dismissed, they become the chorus to your downfall. Indiana didn't just win a game. They authored a blueprint. Culture eats talent for breakfast. Every single time. DeWanna Bonner's departure wasn't merely a roster move. It was a cosmic stress test. When she left Indiana mid-contract, calling them not good enough, she accidentally set in motion a chain of events that would expose the fragile anatomy of winning. The 107-101 Fever victory wasn't just a game. It was an autopsy. Let's dissect why every assumption Bonner made imploded. 1. The record lie. Better team myth obliterated. Phoenix's fade. Post-Bonner. The Mercury slid to 16-11.593, losing 4 of 6 games despite her upgrade. Their offense stagnated. ranking 9th in clutch scoring, a fatal flaw for alleged contenders. Indiana's ascent. The Fever's 9-3 surge after her exit rocketed them to 16-12.571, their best record since 2015. With 5 players averaging double figures, they became the league's second-best clutch team. The irony, Bonner sought Phoenix's winning culture, yet Indiana now holds a better net rating, plus 3.2, more road wins 7, and a 4-game win streak. Her move didn't elevate a contender. It exposed one. 2. The replacement paradox, how $200,000 fueled a revolution. Bonner's exit freed $200,000 in cap space. Chump change that became dynasty fuel. Arie McDonald's 27-point eruption, the undrafted guard's career night, wasn't luck. She embodied Indiana's new identity, pace, spacing, and vicious defensive switches. Her 10 out of 10 free throws were a metaphor, precision born from opportunity. Chloe BBY's 7-day contract masterclass. Signed for pennies, her 10-point outburst showcased Indiana's developmental infrastructure, while Bonner forced shots. BBY moved without the ball, a snapshot of systemic versus selfish basketball. Veteran reinforcements. Bonner's money helped sign Sophie Cunningham, 21 points in preseason, and Natasha Howard, winners who chose Indiana, seeing what Bonner missed, a sleeping giant awakening. 3. Thomas's taunts, the arrogance that ignited Inferno. Alyssa Thomas's courtside jeering, she's on a real team, wasn't just petty. It was psychological warfare that catastrophically backfired. The turning point, after Thomas's third-quarter exchange with fans, Fever players huddled silently. Rookie Celeste Taylor later admitted, "That's when we decided. No more talking, just bury them." Boston's vengeance. Thomas guarded Boston during her 17-point fourth quarter. Each basket was a surgical strike, dream shakes leaving Thomas stumbling, and one silencing Mercury's bench. The MVP candidate shot 1 out of 7. When matched with Boston in crunch time, the aftermath, Thomas refused post-game interviews. Mercury staff described their locker room as a morgue. Meanwhile, Boston presented McDonald the game ball, a ritual honoring sacrifice over stardom. For cultural chemistry, the unseen scoreboard. Bonner bet on Phoenix's proven winners. Indiana bet on architects. The draft that defined them. 2025 picks Michaela Timpson, defensive anchor, and Bree Hall, 3-and-D specialist, weren't lottery talents. They were culture selections. As GM Amber Cox stated, we want people who compete, not complain. Veteran versus virtuoso. DeWanna Bonner, 2 rings, and Natasha Howard, 3 rings, joined Indiana after Bonner left. Why? Howard put it bluntly, Clark's gravity creates open lanes. Boston's IQ makes defense easy. Why wouldn't I run with that? The Clark effect, even injured, her sideline leadership catalyzed a win. When Thomas taunted, Clark whispered to assistant coaches, triggering a full court press that forced 3 consecutive turnovers. Stars who stay, elevate. 5. Marketplace karma. Jersey's jeers and justice. The financial aftershocks humiliated Bonner more than any boo. Clearance rack shame. Her number 24 Fever jersey sold for 50% off at Gamebridge Fieldhouse's team store postgame, stacked beside discounted parking passes. McDonald's meteoric rise. Arie's number 5 jersey sold out by halftime. The team store now waitlists 450-plus orders, a surreal feat for a player earning $64,000. Fever Direct Boom, the franchise's new streaming service, $29.99 season pass, saw subscription spike 300% after the win. Bonner's exit didn't cost relevance, it funded innovation. 6. The psychological unraveling, 4 points that said everything. Bonner's one-quarter shooting line read like a cry for help. The airball heard, round Indiana, with 2:11 left in Q3. She bricked a wide-open 3 off the side backboard. Clark's reaction? A slow, icy wave, the gesture trending globally as hashtag WNBA karma. Defensive ghosting. Bonner switched off Arie McDonald repeatedly, leading to 11 uncontested points. Post-game footage showed Mercury coaches throwing clipboards as she ignored play calls. The free throw fracture. Boos crescendoed as she missed 2 second-half free throws. Her eyes darted toward the tunnel, a tell of escape instincts kicking in. 7. The bigger lie. It wasn't a fit. Bonner's fit narrative collapsed under forensic scrutiny. System versus ego. Indiana's offense requires unselfish off-ball movement. Bonner's usage rate in Phoenix? 28.7%, highest since her 2014 MVP bid. Forced shots equals fading relevance. Defensive betrayal. The Fever allow 8.2 fewer points per 100 possessions since her exit. McDonald and Hull embrace switch-heavy schemes Bonner deemed too taxing. Leadership vacuum. Phoenix's collapse under pressure. For late-game turnovers versus Fever 0. Traces to Bonner's presence. Veterans win close games. Mercenaries lose them. 8. The legacy calculus. Championships versus character. Bonner owns 2 rings. Boston owns 0. Yet post-game, their legacy's inverted. Boston's quiet coronation, her 22/12/4 stat line cemented her as the league's premier two-way center. But her post-game presser resonated deeper. Fans do what fans do. Our job? Win games. Principles over pettiness. Bonner's unraveling. Phoenix insiders whisper she's isolated in the locker room. Teammates resent her defensive lapses and preferential treatment. Rings can't camouflage decay. The Fever's manifesto, Coach Stephanie White's words post-game weren't coaching cliches. They were canon. Basketball's basketball. Relationships outlast jerseys. In 10 words, she defined why cultures outlive transactions. Why this resonates beyond basketball. This game wasn't entertainment. It was anthropology. We witnessed the death of a false narrative. That talent trumps togetherness. The numbers scream truth. Metric Mercury with Bonner Fever. Without Bonner. Record 4-5, 9-3. Clutch win percent 42.1%, 68.3%. Bench PPG 18.7, 29.3. Jersey sales ranked 9th in WNBA, 1st in WNBA. Phoenix didn't lose a basketball game. They lost a war of meaning. When Thomas sneered at fans, she validated every criticism of athlete entitlement. When McDonald thanked fans post-game, she represented athletes as servants, not sovereigns. The final verdict. DeWanna Bonner's career isn't over, but her myth is she gambled that elite talent excuses elite selfishness. Indianapolis proved otherwise. The Fever's 15-12 record isn't just a standings line. It's a moral argument. Greatness isn't bought. It's built by those who stay to lay bricks, not those who flee at cracks. So when you see Bonner's jersey discounted, or Thomas avoiding eye contact, or Boston's jersey selling thousands, remember, basketball karma always collects. And in Indianapolis, it charges compound interest. This is bigger than basketball. It's about loyalty. Karma doesn't care about your reputation. It cares about your choices. And Dana Bonner, she chose wrong. So what do you think? Was this instant karma at its finest? Drop Instant Karma Bonner in the comments. And if you believe teams beat talent, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The Fever's revenge tour is just starting, and you won't want to miss what's next.